Hey everyone, and welcome to Night at the Improv. Night at the Improv shows every Saturday night, 10 p.m. Eastern Time. It's the show where you direct my design, and after spinning, our word for tonight is Vikings, given to us by Omnia's Wish. Thank you so much, Omnia, for your word tonight, Vikings. If you would like to direct me to do a design, leave a comment below your word and I'll add it to the spinner. And who knows, maybe next episode, your word will be chosen. For my returning subscribers, thank you so much for tuning in. And for my new viewers, please consider subscribing, share, hit that like button, leave a comment below, and click on that notification bell for future videos. After spinning the wheel, we have to use 4 colors for our background. And our first color I am using is by Sally Hensen Miracle Gel, color Steel and Stilettos. And our next color that we're using is Jealous Boyfriend, again by Sally Hensen's Miracle Gel. And for our third color, I'm going to be using Madame Glam's Riverwalk. And finally, I'm going to be using Rock On by Sally Hensen's Miracle Gel. I wanted to put this over the Steel and Stilettos because I wanted to darken up this concrete look. But then I realized how great it covered, so it pretty much covered the color I had before. So I'm just going to put a thin layer of that Steel and Stilettos over the Rock On. For our first decoration, we have to do charms. So I thought about perhaps doing a Viking sword, and I wanted to use this silicone mat again. I laugh because I love this thing. I don't know if anybody else does, but I keep trying to find ways to use this silicone mat. But I want the Viking sword to have like an intricate detail on it, and there's a little there's little parts in here that kind of remind me of some like Celtic design, even though obviously it's not Viking, but it's I'm just looking for some really cool detail here. So I'm just looking at this pattern, and I saw a sword right away if I look at it at an angle. So I'm just going to chrome powder this up, and then I'm going to be cutting out a shape of a sword. So I'm just using Born Pretty chrome powder, and I'm going to rub this in and around all those crevices to get it all chromed up. The video camera is not doing it justice, but the color is definitely there, and I'm really liking how it's turning out. And so now I'm just going to cut a sword shape out of these patterns, and I'm going to turn this into a Viking sword. If you're watching this far, thank you so much for tuning in. Go ahead and click that like button. It really helps my channel out, and I greatly appreciate your support. After I cut that piece out, I'm going to be using Shiny by eNail Couture to paint up this rectangular shape here. That's going to become the backing of the sword, and I'm using Shiny because that tends to adhere to the powders better than any of the other top coats, base coats I have. And after I cure that, I'm just going to rub this powder in, And then we're going to top coat it and sandwich that pattern piece we just cut out for the sword. So it's going to look like a sword. Or at least try to look like a sword. So I felt that the Born Pretty chrome powder didn't look as prominent in this sword as I wanted, so I'm going to try this other chrome powder. I got this in the with the silicone matte kit, and it's really shining out, so I really like how it ended up looking. But now I'm going to take some Beetles Rhinestone glue, and I just wanted to do a quick handle on this sword. I could have used poly gel or top coat or hard gel, but since I already had the rhinestone glue out, I just figured I'd use it and shape it up to become the handle of this sword. And after that's cured, I'm just going to take the Stiletto and Studs color by Sally Hensen's Miracle Gel, and I'm just going to color the handle and allow that to dry a bit. And after that's dry, I'm going to take my Beetles Rhinestone glue and adhere the magnet onto this nail. And I'm going to put top coat over that just to make an extra seal on the magnet. Before I put that magnet down, when I put it down it was a little bare, and you know, I don't like to have my magnets sit alone, so I decided to take off the magnet and put on this pattern piece I had left over from the silicone mat. And I'm cutting this circular kind of formation here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my X-Acto knife and I'm going to cut out the grids inside that middle circle so that my magnet can sit inside it. So to allow this to lie flat, I'm going to take some saran wrap and I'm going to place it over this whole piece here. I'm going to try not to wrap it on the rest of the nail just because it's going to leave indentations and I want a nice smooth finish on this. So I'm just going to carefully press down onto that pattern piece we made with the silicone. And before we cure, I'm going to end up removing this saran wrap. I just wanted to be able to pat this down without touching that wet top coat. And then any parts that are not smooth from the saran wrap, I'm just going to take some top coat again and just brush off the excess and smooth it all back out. And then of course after that's adhered, I'm going to take the backing, put on the magnet as you see here. I'm going to take some Beetles Rhinestone glue, put a little dab of that onto the magnet, and then I'm going to place the sword on top of that, and we're going to cure it in place. So this Viking sword charm is pretty much done. What I didn't show you is that I did cut out with the scissors the sword to be a little bit more narrow than what it is now. So after spinning the wheel again, we have to use French stickers as our second decoration. So I'm going to take this nail here where we did the Jealous Boyfriend shade, and I'm putting a base coat on it now. And I'm going to take this Born Pretty, I'm going to end up taking the Born Pretty stamping polish to put on the tip of this nail. So I'm taking my French tip stickers and I'm just going to lay this down. And I know I kind of, I used the 4 colors, but really at the end result is like you only see 3 because I put 2 on top of each other. So let's just let this be the 4th color that we use for tonight. And this is one of my ASMR moments, just doing that reveal. And after that fully dries, I'm going to put on another layer of base coat, give that a cure, and I wanted to do like kind of, if you watch the TV show Vikings, they do have like a logo. And so because this is only a small portion of this V that I created, it's only going to be a small portion of that logo. So I'm just going to draw up what it kind of looks like. It's obviously not going to be exact, but the idea is it's got some fancy writing, kind of, I don't know what you call this, but I guess it's Viking-like. If you're watching this far, thank you so much for tuning in. Go ahead and click that like button. It really helps my channel out and I greatly appreciate your support. So maybe this was something I should have mentioned in the beginning, but when I got this word Vikings, I thought of two things. I thought of the NFL team, the Minnesota Vikings, and then I also thought of the A&E TV show Vikings. I actually was leaning more towards the Minnesota Vikings just because I feel that it would have been an easier theme to do for tonight. And instead, I was like, you know what, let's not go this route. And I'm sure most of you, I don't even know how many of you watch the TV show Vikings. Leave a comment below if you do, because I absolutely love the show and the spin-off. But I don't even think most of you watch football. I don't know, that could be a bad assumption. But once upon a time, I used to watch all of that stuff. I don't even have time to watch any of that stuff now. But, so yeah, we're going to go with the TV show. If you haven't seen a bit of it, go ahead and check it out, because on these nails tonight, when I was thinking more like Shield Maiden. Shield Maidens are the female warriors of Vikings, and they're actually mythical. They mention in history books that they were women that fought, and but it didn't make it seem like they were many of them. So, you know me and women power and all this and that. So I wanted to do these nails to be more about shield maidens than the main characters of Vikings that were mostly male. So, on my third nail, I'm thinking about, paying homage to one of the characters on the show, a female warrior who they call Lagertha. She was my favorite character in the show, and I would have loved to be a Viking and just warrior out, because I don't know, I might have that anger in me. So after spinning the wheel one last time, our last decoration is going to be line work, which is perfect because I can now do my Lagertha nail and not have to worry about any other weird charms or decals or stickers that I'm going to have to add into my drawing. So I'm just gonna, it started out to be just like do a symbolic like face. So I wasn't going to put any detail really, but when I started doing this, like, in one of her, well, sometimes when she's fighting, she's got that paint on her eyes, and so that's what I was trying to do here. And when I started doing this, I'm like, this looks like some sort of Marvel DC comic book character now. I was like, oh great, so it's not going to look the way that I wanted it to look. So I was like, I'm gonna have to do a full drawing now, which I kind of didn't want to do because drawing real people is just next level of drawing cartoons. Because obviously a real life person, you have to make it look like them. So I was like, okay, well, whatever. Let me try drawing Lagertha on this nail, and however it turns out, it turns out. But I have to make sure that this nail definitely looks like a shield maiden, aka female Viking warrior, so that there's no question about what it is at the end of the day. Well, like, we don't need to have, Batgirl on here. So just follow me in my hand painting skills. Yeah, I wasn't as comfortable doing this one as I was with the cartoons that I've done lately. So bear with me. If you're watching this far, thank you so much for tuning in. Go ahead and click that like button. It really helps my channel out, and I greatly appreciate your support. So after that's cured, I'm just going to seal this all in with some top coat. And here is our end result. Our word for tonight, Vikings, given to us by Omnia's wish. Thank you so much, Omnia, for our word tonight, Vikings. If you would like to direct me to do a design, leave a comment below your word and I'll add it to the spinner. And who knows, maybe next episode, your word will be chosen. Here is my Viking sword. Look at that detail. Would have never been able to hand draw that myself and have it look so perfect. And this kind of looks like a mini shield when you remove the sword. That's my charm. And then next we have Lagertha, hand drawn, kind of looks like her, but I still love it. And finally we have that partial logo in the French tip. Go ahead and check out that show. You'll like it, you guys. Well, thank you so much for joining me at Night at the Improv every Saturday night, 10 p.m. Eastern Time. This is Isms by Josie. Please share, like, and subscribe for future videos. And join me again. We have Longish and every other weekend, Christmas Day special. And I'll see you again next time. Thanks. Bye.